I felt the air in the room constrict the second the words left her mouth. My sister spoke with that rehearsed tremble, soft, fragile, perfectly pitched so every person at the table would catch it. Forks stopped mid-bite. My mother went still. My father cleared his throat like he was preparing to pass judgment. I kept my focus on my water glass, watching thin cracks spread through the ice as it melted. I didn't need to look up to feel all their eyes slicing into me. Then I lifted the glass, took a slow, steady drink, and said, "That's inconvenient. I sold the house last Friday to a couple." The silence that followed was so sharp it made my heartbeat sound like a gun going off. They didn't realize it yet, but that sentence was the final chord of a symphony I'd been composing for months. And it began long before tonight. There was a time my sister and I were inseparable. People used to say we were reflections of each other, she the radiant one, me the grounded one. When storms frightened her as kids, she'd cling to me, and I'd promise nothing would ever hurt her as long as she stayed honest with me. Funny how promises decay faster than people do. As my parents started favoring her, first subtly, then shamelessly, I assumed it was normal. She was the delicate one, the one who needed extra cushioning. I didn't complain. I worked hard. I saved money. I endured. She drifted through life. Still, I cared enough to believe she cared too. I was a fool back then. It began unraveling with a voicemail I was never meant to hear. A snippet. My mother's voice. "She doesn't need to know. Just keep her believing you care." My sister, quietly laughing. "Once the house is in my name, she can move out. She'll be fine. Move out of my house, the one I bought, renovated, paid taxes on, maintained while they whispered about how to erase me from my own life." I didn't react. Didn't cry or yell. I just played the voicemail over and over until the rhythm of my pulse drowned it out. Then I began noticing everything, the sudden drop-ins, the sugary smiles, the way my parents only praised me when they needed a signature, a notarization, a document handed over. They still believed I was the silent one, the agreeable one. They forgot silence isn't the same as ignorance. The anger was there, yes, cold, weighted, coiled tight up my spine, but it wasn't the wild kind. It was the kind that sharpens your focus. I didn't confront them. I didn't warn them. I just made a choice. If they wanted to take something from me, I would let them, just not the way they imagined. So I smiled a little more. Answered their calls. Allowed them to think their scheme was unfolding perfectly. Meanwhile, I built something much cleaner. First, I met with a discreet realtor. We walked the house in the early mornings while my family slept in their delusions of control. Then I found the buyers, a kind couple looking for a new beginning. The sale closed fast and quietly. Cash. No lenders. No delays. I moved what I needed into a storage unit. Everything else I sold, donated, or let vanish. Then came the twist they never saw coming. My parents had been pushing me to add my sister to the deed for inheritance purposes. They had no idea the deed was already in someone else's hands. I let them talk. Let them strategize. By the time they suggested my sister stay with me temporarily, the contract had long been signed, the keys exchanged, the matter finished. Tonight was just the reveal. My sister stared at me like I'd struck her. "You sold the house?" Her voice cracked, the performance slipping. My father leaned in. "You did what?" I folded my napkin with deliberate calm, the way you close a case file. "Yes. Last Friday. The buyers move in next week." My mother went pale. "But your sister, she has nowhere to go." I met my sister's gaze. For the first time in years, she looked genuinely small, no dramatics, no act. "That's something you should have considered before deciding you could take my home," I said. Their shock tasted better than the meal. I walked out before any of them found their voices again. Outside, the air felt untouched, like it belonged only to me. I wasn't angry anymore, not bitter, not resentful. Just free. They had pushed me into becoming someone sharper, someone they never thought I could be. And as I drove away from that house, and from them, I understood something simple, something clean. Revenge isn't loud. It's the quiet click of a door closing behind you while they're still shouting on the other side.